Right, for his analysis on the big political stories of the day, I'm joined from Sydney by Sky News political editor, Andrew Clennell. Andrew, let's start with Afghanistan. Harrowing images, people literally falling from the sky, clinging to the fuselage of a US military aircraft. That photograph too inside the plane, 600 desperate people, C-17. It normally carries about a couple of hundred soldiers. I reckon the pilot was an absolute hero. That plane was grossly overweight, but he decided just to fly the civilians out regardless of the risks. The PM gave us an update today about what the Australian military is doing to get people connected to us out. We shut our embassy weeks ago, of course. Tell us what the PM had to say today. What's been the reaction to his comments?
Well, he said that we'll try and get in there when we can, and he's not going to talk about operational matters. But we've got about 100 people we're trying to get out, Australian citizens and residents, and we intend to do that. But it's a matter of Kabul airport being secure enough, and there seems to be a confidence the US will do that. And I heard there was actually a plan, Peter, to get them out this afternoon. So I would have thought that there's every chance, if things go according to plan, we could hear something tomorrow from the PM, but don't hold me to it because it all depends on the security situation around that airport.
People I've spoken to in Canberra are shocked, some despondent and despairing of the way this has played out at the hands of the US withdrawal. I mean, I don't think there's an issue so much that the US were going to leave, but it's how they've left.
Well, yeah, they left in a hurry, and embarrassingly for Joe Biden, he said, you know, the Taliban might not take Kabul. Well, certainly not in a hurry. So, yeah, he's been clearly embarrassed by that. I guess the US president's argument is this was going to happen eventually anyway, so may as well not lose another American life. And maybe that's even popular domestically. But as you pointed out in your editorial, let's see where it ends up with the potential for terrorists to be in charge of a nation state again.
Well, a nation state, of course, they're going to have support from China. China wants to get into the minerals and other things to exploit there. Russia will like to have someone to pit against the United States. I know from my time in government, the connections to Pakistan, Afghanistan in terms of radicalisation of young people in the West and the movement of terror, particularly into Europe. This is, I have to say, a very, very difficult circumstance for anyone in the West who's been up close to the terrorism issue to stomach, quite honestly.
Yeah, and particularly after Australian blood is spilt. And to what end? Well, they got 20 years of freedom. Scott Morrison has to take the argument up it was worth it. We always follow the US on these sort of matters anyway. So, and, you know, that is a bitter pill to swallow. There's absolutely no doubt about it. I guess the threat from the US is we'll bomb you again if you do it to us again. Do we end up in the same situation? It was kind of, I remember that 20 years ago, it was over so quick and almost surprisingly, given the resistance that we knew that Russia had faced when they tried to occupy Afghanistan. But I guess it's a similar situation to Iraq as well. You think the war's over, but it never is.
Yeah, and I've got to wonder how much pressure the allies like Australia and the United Kingdom and others put on the US to better manage that withdrawal. There's all this talk in the US about a lot of people being upset in the Pentagon, not cutting through to the administration to do it in a better way. I think that'll come out in coming days.